Morning, everyone. We had a few minutes and then we'll get started, right? We have a very busy one today. We're going to cover a lot of things. So,
You can take notes here.
there we go. Okay. Higher a little bit. La, 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 la. Let's see, that's better. Yeah, that's better. One more higher, maybe. One more higher. Yeah, that's for sure. That's good. That's better. All right, we got 2 minutes and then we start, guys. 2 minutes. Woo woo. Better be ready. Better be ready. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, good morning to everyone. Yesterday, actually, we had some great ideas. You know, I was coming up and I was actually watching all these different videos last night, you know, so I think I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to start next week doing something else for you guys. Not only am I going to do one that's more because I was thinking about it, like for the players' point of view, I'm talking about the tactics and everything else. For the coaches, of course, they're looking at the tactics in a different way. For the high school coaches, for the club coaches, college coaches, even parents, and a lot of times it's good to understand so you can make an educated, an educated comment, because that helps a lot. I know that being a coach for 41 years, as I have been, 41 years, and let's say at the international level, at the national level, one of the things I've noticed is that when we have really good educated community, I know in Long Beach, where I come from, we had such an educated community that actually even the stands alone, they knew what was going on. So as a parent, if you know that actually helps a lot. So I advise parents to actually get to know a little bit about your kid's sport. Water polo is not the baseball, football that's on TV all the time. So it's kind of nice to know a little bit. So you'll not be telling your kid to shoot the ball with 30 seconds to go when you're up by 2. You actually should be telling him to hold the ball, because we only need the win. We don't need to win by more than 2. But that's another show. All right. So what we're going to do is that we're going to be doing a little bit more towards both of them, so that you both can learn from it. Again, I apologize for yesterday. I'm still learning this. This coronavirus made all of us having to adapt. One way that I'm trying to do this is try to bring water polo to you guys as much as I can. I'm going to continue to do so. And, like I said, for me, I've always said that water polo has been wonderful in my life, and I want to make sure that everybody else can have the same opportunity. So let's talk about a little bit what we're talking about, the mental approach of defense, because one of the questions that we get all the time is from the players like, Coach, how do I become a great defensive player? We kind of know how you become a great offensive player, we basically become a great offensive player. It just means that you are really tall, you're really fast, you're really big, you're really strong, and you shoot the ball really well. Okay, great, great. And if you have a whole team of those kind of people, fantastic. But that doesn't necessarily happen all the time. So how do I make a defensive player? You see, this is to me where there's a lot of fun. You got to look at it, that guy that has that defense inside of him. I mean, he basically is, whenever the coach is doing a drill, he's thinking about how am I going to stop that person? An offensive-minded player, all he sees is the goal. And that's okay, guys. That's okay. You look at a lot of the great shooters in the NBA or the great receivers, all they basically see is the point, is the goal, is the score. And that's good. We need to have those guys in the game. But we can't have 7 of those guys in the game. Well, definitely 6, because one is a goalie. But even some of these goalies are like that. But, the bottom line is that I need to have, like, maybe the way I look at it, a perfect team for me would be like a go-to guy, 2 setup guys, because a setup guy is a go-to guy when he's not, setting people up. So a go-to guy, 2 setup guys, and 3 defenders. And what I mean, what are defenders? I'm not talking about just center defenders. I'm talking about perimeter defenders. I'm talking about that guy that in the old days, back in the 80s and back in the 70s, used to basically say, hey, you know what? Shut that guy down. And I'm going to tell you, you can go ahead and ask some of the great players in this country and in the world, and they will tell you, all of them, without exception, they will say, like, man, there's this one player, I can't stand playing against this guy, because he, is – he always shuts me down. I mean, he's like, no matter how good I am, he kind of anticipates my moves. And so how do I, as, let's say, a coach, right? How do I, as a coach, train my players to have that kind of a mentality? And that's tough. But not really. Okay? There are some tricks you can do it as a coach that can really bring the best out of the defensive players. And they, to me, are important. As I said before, I really believe that, and you can see that in any sport, I really, really, truly believe that offensive players get you to the final game, but the defensive players are going to win that championship for you. It's going to be that guy who's going to shut down that last 6-on-5. It's going to be the shut up that last drive or shot block, that last shot. We've always talked about the guy that gets the game-winning shot. But if you look down the line, you're going to see that that's 10% of the time. 90% of the time, somebody shut that guy down. Okay? Otherwise, you would look at guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and they would have 200. While they played, 10,000 games or whatever it is, they would have had 200 or 300 game-winning shots. Yet they have like 10. And it's good to see that they can hit the game-winning shot, but how many of them are defended by a specific player? And that's what I want you to think out there. All of you guys out there, can you be that player? Because let me tell you that the competition is not as tough as being that scorer. Everybody wants to be the leading scorer. How many guys want to lead the nation in shot blocks? How many guys want to lead the nation in assists? How many guys want to lead the nation in steals? Oh, no, but everybody wants to lead the nation in scoring. I don't know. I kind of prefer the guy that leads the nation in assists, shot blocks, and steals. I'll probably win more games if I have more of those guys in the game. So, well, let's see. When we are preparing a defense, and this we're going to go to the first one in a second. When we're preparing a defense, we have to understand, are we going to anticipate, okay, or are we going to react? So anticipate means I have done my homework. I know what the other team does, and I know his tendencies. So I know the tendencies of that team. They like to drive from a 2 and 4, or they like to drive from the point. They like, so the tendencies of our teams are very simple. Let's go to the trusty board here for a second. So the tendencies of a team like this. There are teams, okay? There are teams that are driving teams. So what are driving teams? Teams that have more mobility, like Spain, like Italy. Greece has been doing that. Serbia to a certain extent. United States used to be a great driving team back in the 80s and 90s. Not so much anymore. I think the 25-meter rule in the college level that basically shortened the game, so the game becomes very, pretty much just kind of like, I don't know, I think it's too much offense, not enough setup. That's a problem in my opinion. I think it also takes away a little bit from the passing 2-meter man. I think the idea of those great passes at 2 meters, I mean, I can think of some of the great passes in the world like Pasqualin, Terry Schroeder, Jody Campbell. I mean, these guys were great passers at a 2-meter. Ryan Bailey, our last great center that we've had, of course, Pollock now is actually an excellent center. But, we had the players like, Ryan Bailey that had great hands. I mean, you could drive, he was going to put that ball in your hand. So we kind of lost a little bit of those guys. But so a driving game is somebody that drives, and usually you drive from these 3 positions. Those are the most popular ones. You drive from the flat, so let's say from 2 and 4, and you drive from 3. Most of the drives from 3 is just for movement. They're not drives to score goals. So when you drive from here, it's mostly to kind of create an opening area one way or the other. But these drivers usually drive to score, okay? Then you also have the rare drives. Like I said, this used to be the Kotenko drive. Most of you don't know, but the Soviet Union and the Russia, they went almost like 30 years without having a left-hander on the national team on the men's side. That's pretty amazing. And the Hungarians would have 5 of them, and the Russians had none. So what they had is some of the great players that played on the left-hander side, like guys like Markov, Yershov, Kotenko, Kabanov. And what they did is they used to have the Kotenko drive, and that's the drive that went across. So, but that's kind of rare. Now Italy likes to run this drive, and now Spain does too. That kind of goes this way, but that's, again, mostly not to get open. It's mostly to make some kind of a transition on the defensive side. So you create some kind of – so these are tendencies. These are tendencies. We know that if we play a team like Croatia, we know they like to drive this guy down and slide this guy here and create kind of a 4-2. We will see that on the video. That's a tendency, okay? So once I know the tendency of that team, I can train to anticipate. And then beyond anticipation that I mentioned a little bit yesterday, besides anticipation, now I'm going to start setting some traps, okay? And that's the best part. As a coach, for me, for example, that's the part I love, is to be able to set a trap. I'll actually make a defense that looks like that team is going to score for sure. I'll give you a fun one that I used to have. I used to have this one on a 6-on-5 that when the guy passed the ball to this wing over here, I used to actually have him to drop on purpose. Because most teams, when you drop the ball, they rush you because they think you made a mistake. So once you drop the ball, right, and they go like, okay, everybody press, right, to just kill the 6-on-5. So what I used to do is I used to do it on purpose, and as I went to the fake, everybody knew it, we called it, and then as he went to the fake, he kind of threw the ball like right behind his head over here, like he just dropped the ball, and then you kind of look right, so like he doesn't know where it is, and then they would attack, And then all he would do is go like this and throw the ball to the post, and it was wide open every time. So sometimes setting up these straps can be fun at the same time, but also make your players think about stuff. All right, let's go to our first video. Okay, everybody cross your fingers, make sure it works today, all right? Okay, guys, cross your finger there. Help the Rico, man. I mean, come on. You know, I'm so old. Back when I went to school, there were still dinosaurs on Earth. I mean, all right, here we go. All right, let's go to the first one. All right. Okay. Okay, let's see. Here we go. First one. Let me see if you guys see it, all right? Everybody see the video? Everybody see the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. I got it. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go on the first video we're going to talk about. This is just right after Croatia had a great opportunity. They missed a shot. I want you to see how the defense approaches itself, okay? I want you to basically just see how the defense is going to approach this level. So here we go. So here it goes. Croatia comes back into a 2-3-4 drop. Look at that. They're basically coming back. The ball comes in here, no press, because they're taking away that 2-meter man. Okay, typical Spain is really attacking from the bottom, right? Hold on, the stupid commercial sometimes gets on the way. All right, here we go. Did you see? So again, let's stop there for a second. Hold on for a sec. All right. Okay. All right. I don't want that to be in 10 seconds. Wait a minute, Stuart. Wait. Good. All right, skip that. Okay, so let's look at that just a second earlier. Hold on. Okay. What I want you to do, here's the one that he missed. I want to stop the video just for you to see something, okay? Watch me. So as he's coming in, you know, he missed the shot, wide open shot. He missed it over there. Bad pass. The pass should have been taken a little bit more to the right, but we'll talk about 6-on-5 in another day. So watch this. So right here. Pause. Okay, let's look together. So you see right here. So what is Croatia does? They take away this side, right? So here's that drive that I was telling you about the Croatian always does. Okay, so here goes. Spain is going to do the same thing. He's going to take them down to open this area. To protect the center, Croatia comes right back and puts a man in front of the center. But right now, if you look at it, there's 3 guys playing defense here, and these guys are in their own game. Okay, watch. All right, here we go. Stop. Again, look what I'm saying. See these 3 guys right here? This is becoming a very popular offense, okay? This is becoming a very popular offense where they pull the point man back, and then what they do is they create kind of a line. You see that right here? Okay, this is, most people haven't even realized that that is actually an offense. They think it's this guy just trying to take away this defender, but it isn't. What we're trying to do here, and this is very smart on Spain, is that they're basically having 3 ways here. And that means that the center is kind of looking just for this area. And look what's happening. This guy has a shot. See, so most of the times in the past, this guy would have been here. Now watch what his 2-meter man is. So let's take a look at it a little bit more. Go. So watch the work. See, he's working for that side. See, and they're putting the ball on this side. There it is. Now, and he has a shot. Hey, it doesn't matter if the shot goes or not. That's not the point. The point is that you work for something, you get a shot out from 5 meters. I would say that's good offense. All right. Let's take, wait, somebody just came in here real quick. Hold on. All right. Okay. Sorry. All right, let's go on in here. I want to jump to one right here that I saw yesterday that I like. Okay, same thing. Look at the setup. Now, this is Croatia, right? This is Croatia. So the defender is fronting right here. Okay, look at the clock. There's 14 seconds. So always important to look at the clock. So here's the center is being fronted. Okay, so this is Croatia. So remember what I said about them liking to post this up here? Look how it's kind of the same way. Watch this. Look at this line. It's kind of the same way. And then this guy is coming in here. All right, so watch. There he goes. See? Okay, so there's a center working. There's a center working. They stop everything. So again, what are we trying to accomplish here? What we're trying to accomplish every single time, the key thing of what we're trying to accomplish is that we're trying to create a scoring opportunity. So as I'm, hold on. So as I'm preparing to do anything, it doesn't matter what it is, as I'm preparing to do anything, I have to take away what they want to do. So in this case, they wanted to bring the ball in the center. So obviously I failed because the ball came in, okay? So let's take a look at another one here. Go back, okay? Now, let's see if we have any questions right here. Hold on. Okay. Apparently, I'm too scary looking during lockdown. I can't refuse. All right, hold on. Okay. All right. Now, so the idea is, this is what I'm trying to say. So I always want to do, because this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to actually break it down now. Then I'm going to pick like 5 instances, and I'm going to spend 6-7 minutes on each one of them. So I want you to understand what we did. So here it is. Let's go back to our trusty board. Okay, let's make sure we got it. Okay. All right. So what are they trying to do? We want the ball here because it's lower percentage. So what we do, this guy brings it down a little bit, and then this guy moves, and then the center moves with it. You see that line? Remember the line that we talked about, the eye? Look at that line. So by me, if I did this, this doesn't work because I could come back. But if I do this, and he is here, it's tough. Because if he comes back, this guy has the ability to come here. He can come up with a post-up drive. So then this guy has to come back to here. As he does that, allows me this lane to shoot. So this defense, okay, this offense that they are starting to use, and they use a lot, guys. You look, Spain is using it. Croatia, Hungary, I mean, pretty much I would say most teams are using it where they pull this guy out. So how am I going to defend that? And this is what makes it fun. So, of course, we were in a press, whatever it is we talked about the other day. We all denying the press. The ball is over here. We're denying. We're fronting. But they got position. Remember what I said yesterday, who comes back? I would defend this differently. I would not do like what they're doing. I would defend this by throwing that guy back, attacking this guy, and then coming here, and then coming here, and then create the M again. Because let me tell you something about the M defense. You don't break the M defense. You break the defense to be able to attack. So when you attack an M defense, you're not attacking the M defense to score a goal. You're attacking the M defense to get away from that defense so then you can attack. I'll give you an example. The typical way to, let's say the professional way, the way you attack an M defense, okay? I'm going to give you 3 ways to attack the M defense, okay? So the M defense comes in here. There it is, aggressive M defense. There we go, okay? That's a good M defense right there, okay? Now, M defense has to protect itself. So the M defense idea is that everybody has a zone. Everybody has a zone that they got to take care. Everybody has a zone. This guy drives a little bit. I have to take care of that zone, right? So everybody has a zone. So the way you break the M defense, you don't score on the M defense, you break the M defense, is this guy drives across. What does this guy have to do? You have to go with him. As he goes with him, guess what? This guy drives. He has to come pick him up. Ball in the center. I broke the defense. So if I drive from the wings on an M defense, you are going to free the pass into 2 meters every time. Okay? Because if you don't, what ends up happening is if this guy doesn't come back, then you got this shot. This guy can't help because you got this pass. You definitely don't want to help from this side because now that goalie is really sold out. You're going to make this pass and you got nothing. And in here, if you look at it, you got a 2-on-2 that any movement by these 2 offensive players, the ball turned over, guess what? Is a 1-on-nobody or 2-on-1. So that's how is the way you're going to break that defense. So again, I'm talking defense. I'm not talking offense right now. So let's just talk about how I would do it. Okay. So here we go. There's the offense, and they're running an M on me. Okay. Because I know that can happen. What I'm going to do is actually the way I would defend it, it would not to follow And I would basically just say, as this person goes and starts driving, this person, the ball usually, let's say, is here. That's usually where it would be. And this, whenever you drive, okay? So as this is happening, what I would do here, okay, is as this person gets to here, okay, I would just run a switch and then has him pick it up, and I will go into a press. I would go into a press. Because even if the press is about 4 or 5 seconds, guys, guess what? Did I take them away from their offense? Did I take them away what they're trying to do with my defense? I did. And then if I go like this, and they decide, well, okay, guys, okay, well, now we're going to attack the press. As they try to attack the press, very rarely you're going to see people coming back. You're going to basically going to happen is that this guy is going to go through, and then this guy is going to come down, and this guy is going to come in here, and you're going to create a rotation. I can stay in a press, but then if I lose the press, because I already spent so much time, I can come back into a nice basic 2-3-4, because by now, guess what? That clock is probably running at around 5 or 6 seconds. And then as soon as my defender take a side on a 2-3-4, let's say you took a side over this side over here, I immediately gonna go a pass, attack, attack, because you know what? Even if the ball comes in with 1 second, all this guy has to do is shove, and these guys are going on a counterattack. Again, anticipation. You're going to try to beat my defense. I'm going to anticipate that you're going to try to beat me that way, and I'm going to set up a trap. Okay? Let's take a look at another one. And this one here is a good one, too. I like this one a lot. Okay, let's share this one. All right. Here we go. That's not the one I want. I want the other one. Where is it? Hold on. All right, here we go. Let's go to the Hungary-Montenegro game, okay? Let's go to the Hungary-Montenegro. Again, different situation, okay? So first of all, let's take a look. Everybody sees it, right? Okay, so let's look at the situation right here. And this is, look how Hungary is waiting for the defense. Look at that. See that? So basically they scored, and they're coming in on position, okay? You got two top-heavy teams, but with great shooters. So he comes in what we call an arrow expectation. So see how this guy is forward? That makes it an arrow, okay? There are also some with this guy is back here, okay? That's called triangle, okay? What is the difference? If you have a very active 2-meter man and you're gonna go into a unusual press, this guy needs to pick up that 2-meter man earlier, you see? You don't wanna let him get into too much of an inside position. There are also 3-3s. That's when you're going to come in into a zone, okay? So it depends which way you're going to have your defense, that's the way you're going to design it. That's how you're going to accept the drill. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's go in here and let's see how they're going to attack. And let's see the defense, okay? So here you go. See how he's going to pick him up early? Now, one thing you'll notice is that when the defender, when that offensive player was coming in, you notice that he's on that side. That means that he was on this side over here, okay? So where's my cursor? Okay. So you notice that he was taking away this side. So he forced the 2-meter man to try to get this water here. Watch this. Denial. Look at that. He doesn't care if this guy goes anywhere. He's completely denying the offense. And look at this guy. He's bear hugging. Look at that. They're going dancing, right? And then this guy is not following. He's staying here because he knows this guy is looking for the ball. So, and then this guy's trying to pull the defense. They're still in a soft press. This is what we call a soft press. Soft press is, again, is when they are really tight. Okay, where's my cursor? They keep disappearing. All right. You know, when they're really tight here, but they're kind of off their man here, that's what we call a soft press. This guy is still pressing, and look where he is. He's looking for the ball, okay? So let's go in here. Let's look. There he goes. Let's watch a little bit. Ball comes into the wing as you should. Defense is working hard, okay? All right, defense is working hard. All right. Everybody's watching. Now, what did you see on that defense? You notice that everybody's working hard, but they stayed on the same defense too long. Let's go back a little bit here. Okay, let's go back a little bit here. Wait, get away from there. Okay, here we go. Let's go back here. Maybe I went back too far. Yeah, I did. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. So wait, see, it's working, it's working, it's working. Boom, stop. Okay, you see what they did? They're coming back. On the American standards, we call this a 3-4. Okay, the Europeans will call that a 3-2. So they're calling a 3-4 because this guy is way out here. Okay, look how heavy the center is being guarded. So he's coming back on this defense. The mistake that they're going to make here is they're giving this. Look, there's so much time. This defender should go away from the physical play and maybe either come around this way. I would have come around this way a little bit and then drop off this man. This guy is too far. So let's see what's going to happen. Watch. See, he stays there. See, he just stays in the where it is. So then there's a guy driving down. Of course he's going to be ejected because it became a 2-3-4, and this goal is sold out. I mean, the only thing that's good is at least they didn't give any passes to the wings, but you got 3 guys that could have shot the ball. And you don't want to do that on the defense. You want to take it away. So even the great ones, guys, you know, Hungary won the European Championship, but even at that level, we see mistakes, okay? So again, you see it, and then, boom, there's going to be an ejection. See these guys keeping them busy here on the side? You see them just keeping busy, and then you got the ejection, okay? All right. All right, let's look at stars here. All right. Let's look at a little bit this women's side, because there's actually a great one on the women's side here that we see exactly what we're looking for, okay? Look at this coming up. Hold on. Okay, just don't worry about the shot. You know, she blocks the ball. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this right here. So watch, the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's the boys or the girls. They're coming into the offense. Don't look at the offense. Look at where the defense is. So, okay, right now, okay, so what you have is you have Russia coming back into the offensive side after Spain missed a shot. So Russia's going to the offense. I don't care what Russia's doing. Remember what I said about those lines. Remember what I said about the lines. You see that a lot. Starting to see that all over, not just from this side, but on top. And then there's the defense of Spain coming back hard. She's going to have to pick her up, and then she has to come back fast to at least cover 2 meters because the Russians do have a very strong center. Okay? So here we go. Go. All right. There it goes. So it's coming back. There is the defense. But hey, what do you think happened? Well, let's look at it again, and I'll stop. What I'm saying is that don't tell me about the defense. Don't tell me about the offense. I'm going to ask you to tell me what the defense happened. Okay, so that's when they're going to slow-mo. That's one of the good things about using these. Okay, stop. What happens here? Can't do that. You can't allow her to come in there like this. They had him covered. Remember when I showed you the 3? You have him covered. Okay, this player can come in here, and this player could come in here, and there is a player right here that you can't see, but you can't do that. This person has to at least take a stroke, one little stroke to her. If you make her, instead of putting the hand where she puts right there, if you just made her put the hand right there, she cannot score the goal. This is how precise things are, guys. Don't be satisfied or just like, well, I tried. No trying, just do it. So you take a little stroke here, and look what happened. Because you don't take that stroke, watch the motion that she shoots the ball. She picks it up right there and shoots it. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you. All right? So let's go back, talk a little bit. So, again, you see, this is what I'm trying. This is what I look at when I see videos. I see the defense. So here it is, this girl swimming with the ball. I mean, that's Olga Garambuzova, okay? She's a young player. She's actually comes in from the Markoc teams. They won the 20 and under championship last year in Portugal, in Madeira Island. They're really coming up. They're an upcoming team. The Russians are good. They're good again. They're very good. So they're coming in. You can see her. She's setting herself up. She puts that hand on the ball, and you can just see, if you really go back and watch that game, Go back home, watch that game, and you're going to see, watch her left leg. As she reaches for the ball, that left leg is already coming up, and all she does is one motion. And yes, you say, well, the goalie should have had it. You know what? You're not a goalie. Be quiet. Because, you know, if you go too far that way, then you give up the lock. All right? So the bottom line is this. All I had to do, if I'm a defender, if I just make one huge jump, if I make one huge jump, you know, that way, all right? Just one. That's all I need to do, okay? One huge jump, she's going to take that ball and do this. The moment that she does this, that's the 1/10 of a second that my defender needed to go ahead and take away that near side. That's the important part. Because, again, look at what the situation was. It was here, defender right there. Somebody had entered, so you got here, but she was kind of like this. And then she's basically coming here like that with the defender right here. Because nobody did anything, all she did is went straight from the shot. Because, see, the goalie can't also just come in and take that away because she did have that. That's what you don't see in the video. She did have that. So she can make that pass. So this guy is here. The goalie has to be prepared a little bit. This player's right here, you know, right there. All I need to do is like a quick motion. Watch my hands. Watch. Just boom and back. If she does boom, then back, all she's going to do is do this. And the moment she does that, I cut inside. She cannot finish up a shot. It's a sidearm. A sidearm is the longest shot. It needs to come across your body. We're not talking about just the quick ones up here. We will be talking about the 3 different releases. There's 5, but I'm going to teach you 3, okay? And that is here, here, and here. When you go to the sidearm, you by dropping, you open your lats, just kind of relax for just a second because you're coming across. That takes a long time. So if I can just buy 1/10 of a second and attack that pivot, I can stop them, okay? I can stop them. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, when you message, no. One thing, stop the goal, and your teammate doesn't read it, it doesn't cover your man. And yes, no, it's a good point. That's why I said, and that's a very good question, by the way. If you make that big jump and then this guy doesn't make the big jump, so this is where you train at training to basically have key words, key trap words. So we just say, like I said, you know, there's so many, you know, people like to use cute names like home run or, you know, like, you know, hunt for red October. I've seen all kinds of different ones, you know, when they're playing the Russians. But, you know, what you need to do is that as long as if I got a hold of that person just a little bit, I don't have to actually grab but make the touch, I can actually go, because you remember, she is also with the ball here. So unless she is an amazing passer that can make the pass this way, it's a difficult pass. But you're right, I don't leave here and then it's come back, because then it's going to be a penalty shot. I'm not leaving. I'm just basically just doing a little bit of a jump, and this person is a little bit of a jump just to kind of make this person think he's going to get the ball. You know, because I've seen also happen is he fakes the jump, and then he fakes it, and then this player thinks that this guy is going to come back. All of a sudden, this guy steps into that lane and steals that ball. That's where that defender that anticipates even further that we are anticipating. Those are the great defenders. Those are Trbojevic. Amazing defender. Probably, my opinion, I think if I had to say one of the best defenders on the perimeter, I would have to say definitely Trbojevic is one of the greatest. Cilic was also very good. You know, there's been also great defenders. You know, in the United States, we've also had some very good defenders over the years. Not center defenders. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about guys in the perimeter. Joe Vargas in the 80s was a great defender. Both Rick McNair in the 90s was a great defender out there too. You know, we've had some. Jeff Fisher was an outstanding defender, really made a lot of things happen for us on defense. Of course, you know, on the team right now, we run mostly kind of a hard press, but within a zone, we also have some pretty outstanding players out there. Of course, you know, Bowen is a great defender on the perimeter, so is Obert, and those guys that can go both ways. Cupido can make things happen. So on the women's side, the United States, of course, is blessed with tremendous talent. And I tell you what, they can go. They got a plethora. They can go to 5 or 6 defenders without any problem. All right. So tomorrow we're gonna pick it up where we just left off, and what we're gonna do tomorrow is once the zone starts, I'm going to tell you how we're going to attack as a defense those zones and take them away from those offensive series, because that's what you want to do. You're never going to, stop the idea we're going to stop them. You don't stop them. What you're going to do is that, because if come on, they're not stupid. So they're not going to sit there and go, oh my goodness, they took that away from us. No. All I'm saying is that we're going to take their favorite thing away. So if they like to shoot the ball from position 2, we're going to take that away. We're going to make them shoot from 3. Oh, they love to shoot from 2 and 3. We're going to make them shoot from 4 and 5. So if you take away what the other team does well, and because most teams will, I guarantee you, all of you guys, your players out there, and even your coaches out there, you spend, let's say, 60% of your time on a specific offense. Okay, I'm going to take that one away. That means that you're going to have to work on that 40% that you didn't work as much. So the idea is, I always look at percentages. If I take you away from your offense by making my defense, trap you, I percentage-wise are going to have a better chance. All right? Love you guys. Think water polo rules. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. I'm ready, man. I wish we could just go another hour. All right.
Thank
We'll see
you.
you later, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
This is Rico. Thank you.
Obrigado. Bye.
See you later.